Good afternoon and welcome. Glad you could join us today. So let's get started talking about ChatGPT on your iPhone on GoFor Lunch for August the 12th, 2025. Brought to you by Gopher Technology. I'm Roger Harmon, your host, and we're here to make your technology work for you. Well, it's National Truck Driver Day. So when I was going cross country with Bob to Crystal Lake, Illinois, we saw a lot of trucks. So it just reminded me how essential trucks are to our everyday life to keep the stores stocked. And so hats off to the truck drivers of America. So you can use ChatGPT on your iPhone. ChatGPT is one of many large language models. So that's what it actually is. It's called artificial intelligence, but the real name for it is a large language model. And it gets that large language by scraping the internet for all the information it can find. So there are LLMs from many different companies. Some of those are OpenAI, which does have ChatGPT. They just came out with ChatGPT 5, and they also still have 4.5. Then you have Anthropic, which has Cloud Optimus or Opus and Sonnet. You have Google and their Alphabet, which is their parent company, called Gemini 2.5 Pro. Then you have Microsoft Copilot, and you have XAI bringing in Grok 4 and Mini. And there are others, but these are the ones that you hear about most often. So there are certain system requirements to use ChatGPT on your iPhone, and that is you must be running iOS 18.2 and iPhone 15 Pro, and also it will run on any iPhone 16. So Apple chose ChatGPT as a partner because they didn't have their own LLM ready to go. So they chose ChatGPT, which says something about how good ChatGPT is, at least in Apple's estimation, something like that. So to use ChatGPT, you have to activate it on your iPhone. You do that by going to Settings, Apple Intelligence, and Siri. Then you toggle on Apple Intelligence. Then under Extensions, you say Use ChatGPT, and there is a daily limit. So if you want to get rid of that daily limit, you can subscribe to ChatGPT Plus for $20 a month. And then there's a switch there for confirming ChatGPT requests, which if you turn it on, it'll ask you every time. And if you turn it off, it won't ask you. It'll just go to ChatGPT whenever it wants. So let's look at how that works. So we're going to turn on our iPhone here. And so on the left, you have the direct screen. On the right, you have a picture of the screen so you can see where I'm pointing. So I'm pointing to Settings. And then I go down here towards the bottom, and it says Apple Intelligence and Siri. I touch on that. And then here's where you have to turn on Apple Intelligence. I have it turned on already. And then you scroll down, and right here is where you choose the ChatGPT extension. And then you would turn this on. Use ChatGPT. It tells you that you do have the ChatGPT app, which is shown down here. And if you don't have it, it will let you load it from here. You don't have to have the ChatGPT app. You can use it without having the app. And then here we have the daily limit. It says that once you hit the limit, you will be set back to an earlier version of ChatGPT, and that will be in effect for up to 24 hours before it goes back right now to ChatGPT 5. And then here's where you say, do you want me to confirm that you're using ChatGPT every time? And if you have that on, it will ask you every time. So that's how you set up ChatGPT on your iPhone. So the advantage of having ChatGPT app on your phone, and again, you don't have to, it gives you enhanced accessibility with using your voice as input. It gives you offline access to your chat history, so you can go back to one chat that you've had previously and go from there. It gives you seamless integration with Siri. And Apple does not send them any personal information, including your IP address. So it just sends the information that you give it. However, that information is not stored or used for training. So it's saved on your device, but not on their device. So you use ChatGPT instead of a search engine because it provides more specific answers. It eliminates sponsored links, which can be deceiving. And once you ask a question, you can ask follow-up questions without repeating your original question. So that can be very handy. You can expand on the question. So you may want to power down your iPhone or your iPad if you have it close by, because I will be saying the S lady's name. So if you don't want that to trigger your device, now is the time to turn it off. So I'll give you a couple of seconds to do that. And then we will go into demo. We'll get our Face ID here. There we go. So we'll get to our home screen and back there. Okay. So let's try a couple of things. Hey Siri, ask ChatGPT for an itinerary with photographic sites and local restaurants for 3 days in northern Arizona.
ChatGPT asks, could you specify which cities or areas in northern Arizona you'd like to focus on, such as Sedona, Flagstaff, or the Grand Canyon?
Let's use Flagstaff.
Here's an answer from ChatGPT.
So as you can see, it gave us a morning itinerary walking through historic downtown Flagstaff, looking at the vintage buildings and murals, lunch at Diablo Burger, in the afternoon visit Lowell Observatory, and dinner with wood-fired pizzas. Okay, so that went away and took me to something on T-Mobile, which is interesting. So here's an advantage to having ChatGPT on your iPhone. So I'm going to go into my AI folder. I'm going to go into ChatGPT. And here you can see I have a list of things I've asked ChatGPT. Here's the one I just asked. So that saved the information. So day 2, I'm at Walnut Canyon National Monument. I'm having lunch at the Wildflower Bread Company. In the afternoon, I'm at Sunset Crater. dinner, I'm at the Horseman Lounge, and then third day, I'm at the Snowball Road, and lunch at Brick's Restaurant and Wine Bar. Afternoon, I'm at Thorpe Park or Buffalo Park, and dinner at Beaver Street Brewery. So that is one way that you can use ChatGPT. So now what I'm going to do is bring up a photograph from my camera roll. Hey Siri, ask ChatGPT where I can get this product.
Would you like me to send this photo to ChatGPT?
Yes.
Here's an answer from ChatGPT.
So obviously, organic throat coat is available in many places. So there you go. So you can look at it, have it look at a picture and ask questions about that picture. Here's another example. Okay. Hey Siri, ask ChatGPT about troubleshooting this microwave that is pictured that powers on but does not cook.
Do you want me to send this photo to ChatGPT?
Yes.
Here's an answer from ChatGPT.
So as you can see, it gives me a whole list of troubleshooting tips to see if I can troubleshoot this microwave before it says here, if the problem persists, consider contacting a GE support or a certified technician. So as we can see that ChatGPT is integrated into the iPhone. You can use it in many different ways. Another thing you can do, I just remembered. So we're going to go back here. Hey Siri, ask ChatGPT to do a realistic picture of a dolphin in the desert with cactus.
Here's a realistic image of a dolphin in the desert with cacti. The contrast between the dolphin and the arid landscape creates a surreal, striking scene.
So you can also ask it to create images for anything that you might need. So that is also very good. And the reason I don't talk while it's thinking is because it'll listen to me saying something. So you have to be careful just to say your prompt. So these are all called prompts, and the secret to using an LLM is getting good prompts. But you can ask the LLM to tell you what a good prompt is. So you can use it to help make it come out with better results. So that brings us to questions, and I'll be curious as to how many of you are using an LLM. And if you would do me a favor and forward the Gopher Gazette to anybody you know that uses Apple devices, that would help them and help me. Our Zoom workplace has been updated to version 6.5.9. So if you don't get an automatic update, go ahead and do that. So let's see where we are here with our questions. And welcome, Bob. So good question, Al. So as I mentioned, the it does not send any of your personal information um, that the device knows about you, but it will, of course, understand anything that you tell it. And it does not send your IP address, so it doesn't know your location. And it doesn't store any information, or it does not use your information for training. So it's more private to use ChatGPT through Apple than it is to use ChatGPT direct. So I hope that answers your question. So how many of you are using ChatGPT or another LLM? So there's lots of different ones out there. One I didn't put on the list was Perplexity, which I use quite a bit. And there are some rumors out there that Apple might buy Perplexity. So it could be that you would have your choice of using ChatGPT or Perplexity on your Apple device. So Al uses it on Google, where it pops up there at the top, but not on your phone yet. So that's good. I know Bob uses it. So, okay, well, if you have any questions or anything you'd like me to cover, you can send me an email or give me a phone call. And that information is coming up right now. So thank you for joining us this week. We'll see you next week, Tuesday at high noon, for another Go for Lunch.